opens on Wakanda, 6 years ago, after Bucky was taken in by King T'Challa. Bucky is told by Ao, a Wakandan soldier in Okoye's Dora Milaje army, that it is time. Bucky is seated by a fire, alone with her. She tells him she won't let him hurt anyone. As Bucky looks into the fire, she speaks the words to activate the Winter Soldier. It doesn't work, and Bucky cries as he realizes he is free from the brainwashing. At the present, Bucky is asked by Ao why he freed Zemo, as he is the one that murdered King T'Chaka in Civil War. Bucky tells her that Zemo is a means to an end. She gives him 8 hours before the other Wakandans come for Zemo. Bucky returns to the safe house Zemo is sharing with him and Sam. As Sam scolds Zemo for killing Nagel, Bucky receives the update on Karli's attack in the last episode, 11 injured, 3 dead. Zemo identifies Karli as a supremacist, exactly the type of thing he wanted to prevent by destroying the Winter Soldiers. Though Sam agrees that Karli has been radicalized, he thinks he can save her. Zemo doubts it. Bucky jokes about turning on Zemo as Sam suggests they monitor observances of Danya's death, as she has a similar cultural background. Elsewhere, at a Flag Smashers camp, Karli and her gang listen in on the news of their attack. She appears uncomfortable. Zemo leads Sam and Bucky to his old stomping ground. Sam tells them to scout the place while he goes inside to ask about Danya. Everyone leaves the floor as Sam approaches them to ask about Danya, noticing Flag Smashers marks on different items. Outside, Bucky has no more luck. Sam finally comes to a room where children are being taught a school lesson. He asks about Danya, and the teacher scoffs at his identification of Danya and the others there as refugees. The teacher then tells Sam that they don't trust outsiders as he dismisses his student. He tells Sam that the GRC promised to send more teachers in 6 months, but never did. He admonishes Sam once more before leaving with the children. Outside, Zemo approaches some children and lays out Turkish delight candies. He asks one of the children about Danya. She tells him where Danya's funeral will be. Sam and Bucky watch as Zemo tells the children not to tell them about Danya. Zemo doesn't tell them what he found out. Back at the safe house, Sam discusses how the world was forced to come together during the blip, and after 5 years needed to readjust with everyone returning. Bucky asks Zemo what the girl told him. He tells them that the funeral will be this afternoon. Bucky warns him of the doors there to apprehend him. Bucky briefly confronts Zemo, but Sam breaks it up. Sharon Carter speaks on the phone with Sam. She promises to pull whatever strings she can, but urges Sam to find Karli. At the grave of one Lucas Kovacic, Karli is hiding the remaining 7 vials of super soldier serum. She asks her friend, Lucas's grandson, if she is doing the right thing. He tells her that she reminds him of Captain America, and that their legacy ought to be greater than the shield. Karli comments that the shield should be destroyed. She suggests they make their way to Danya's funeral. Walker and Hoskins walk to meet Sam, Bucky, and Zemo. The 5 discuss the situation as they continue to follow Zemo. Hoskins agrees that Sam's skills as a veteran counselor could help bring Karli down. Walker agrees. They find the girl who told Zemo where the funeral is, and she takes the lead. She takes them supposedly to Karli's hideout. Walker handcuffs Zemo and gives Sam 10 minutes to come back with Karli. At the funeral, Karli delivers a eulogy for Mama Danya. When she sees Sam observing from the window, she becomes nervous, but continues on about how they are all one people, as Danya had intended. She allows the rest to pay their respects and waits for everyone to leave. Sam approaches Karli and makes a concerted effort to get through to her. Walker becomes nervous and decides to go in. Bucky stops him, and Walker tries to goad him into letting him help Sam. Sam tells Karli that Zemo calls her a supremacist as she reveals to him that she has more serum. Sam tells her she killed innocent people. She says, they weren't innocent. They were roadblocks in my journey and I'd kill them again, if I had to. Immediately realizing what she has said, Karli attempts to backpedal her statement. Karli tells Sam that the people she is fighting are the same people trying to take away his home in Louisiana. Sam tells Karli that while he agrees with Karli's ends, her means are unjustified. At that point, Walker calls out for her arrest, and Karli realizes it was a setup. Sam tries to stay with her, but Walker and Hoskins engage and Karli makes short work of them and escapes, but Bucky follows in hot pursuit. Outside, Zemo has escaped. Carly makes her way to the basement, where she is confronted by Zemo, who fires at her multiple times. Zemo recognizes the super soldier serum and begins destroying the vials. Carly manages to get away before Zemo is knocked out by the shield. Walker notices one last vial still intact on the ground. He puts it in his pocket. Carly reconsiders the strategy. She receives a message from the power broker demanding the return of the serum. She suggests separating Sam from the team before killing Captain America. At the safe house, Sam sends a message to Sharon to keep her satellite eyes on Walker in case he moves on Carly. Zemo explains that Carly and the other super soldiers cannot be left alive. Sam counters that as Walker barges in to arrest Zemo. His visit is short-lived as AO, and the door arrive to take Zemo back to Wakanda. Walker's intimidating attitude once again causes a fight to break out, with Bucky and Sam reluctantly joining in. During the conflict, Zemo sneaks away. AO detaches Bucky's vibranium arm as they realize Zemo has escaped. Walker laments over the fact that he lost to the Wakandans who were not even super soldiers. Walker discusses the use of the serum with Hoskins, who insists he doesn't need it. They recall a day in Afghanistan, which they agree would have resulted in fewer lives lost if they had the serum. In Louisiana, Sarah receives a call from Carly. Sarah tells Carly that Sam is not working for the new Cap. Carly gives Sarah coordinates to give to Sam, and only to Sam. Sam receives the coordinates and arrives in the Falcon suit with Bucky. Carly asks Sam to join her. Sharon tells Sam that Walker is moving toward Carly. Sam and Bucky have a brief fight with Carly before all three go separate ways. Walker and Hoskins enter. Walker hears a distant gunshot as he searches for Hoskins. In another room, Hoskins is tied up by a flag smasher. Walker engages the super soldiers as Sam and Bucky close in on the location. As Walker bends a pipe, it becomes obvious that he took the vial of super serum. Hoskins manages to cut himself free. He joins the fight, but Carly makes short work of him. Walker stands over Hoskins, who is unconscious and unresponsive. In a fit of rage, Walker tracks down one of the soldiers, demanding Carly's location. Walker finally beats the man to death with a shield in full view of dozens of spectators, including Carly. Thank you for viewing our movie recapped. I hope you have enjoyed watching our videos. Please like and share the video, and subscribe to our channel to help us grow. Click the notification bell so you will be notified when we upload our next videos.